So the Why I Hate Killing Joke video did quite well, and funnily enough, it's also because apparently there's that band called Killing Joke, and people thought I was hating on the band. I listened to a couple of songs. I listened to one of the comment recommendations of Death and Resurrection show. Not for me, but I could see why some people would like it, and I was like, okay, it's a cool thing to know that there is a band called Killing Joke. It isn't just a shitty comic book that I wish was never made. But since that video did kind of well, I think I'm going to talk about the issues of why I hate Hush 2. And there's only been 2 issues at time of recording. There's a third coming by the time I eventually edit and post this video. Just assume I'm going to hate that one too. So, there's a few things, but I'm going to try and keep it in chronological order of the things that I actively hate about issue 2 already. Because I've already talked about issue 1. The main branching point of issue 1 was why I hate the Killing Joke. But issue 2, I feel like it's just completely not only retconning Batman continuity, but it's also actively destroying his character in a way that I think All-Star Batman was All-Star Batman was going to do at the same time. Which again, a comic that's out of continuity, fine. It still sucks, but it's fine. This, however, no one can tell me if it's in continuity or not. So until I get an actual thought process, I'm just going to assume it's shite. So the issue starts off with Batman remembering Leslie Tompkins, and apparently, Leslie has a clinic in Crime Alley, and she was the first one to comfort Bruce after his parents died, which doesn't make sense. Because in almost every form of media, it's either Jim Gordon or it's Alfred Pennyworth. Jim being the good cop, the one good cop in a city full of crooked cops, being the one who is there for Bruce Wayne and is there to help go with the idea of no, justice will prevail, we will catch the person who killed your parents. Or Alfred being that parental figure, the one who actually takes care of this small boy, even though all he was ever supposed to do is clean up after him. Now he has to actively parent him. So now we have Leslie in there. And I feel and this is not to try to shit on Leslie Tompkins. I love Leslie Tompkins as a character, especially in Batman Imposter, because in that story she really challenges Batman on so many aspects of why in ways he is kind of a hypocrite, but in other ways he is just a broken child. It's a good story, it's a good recommendation. But she's kind of shoehorned into this section to kind of give a reason for why Batman would bring a dying Joker into her clinic in Crime Alley. And, he's going through all these thoughts of did fucking Thomas Elliot fucking set me up to this? Is he making me do this? Because he knows I won't just let the Joker die. And you're okay, fuck it. Yeah. Look, Batman saving Joker is a tale as old as time. Would I argue that a game like Arkham City did a better reason of why he's doing it, or why he has the mentality to do it? Yeah, it does. And you still have your Death in the Family. You still have your wild retconned version of the Killing Joke, where Barbara still ends up in a wheelchair. There are ways around that. In my opinion, it did a better job than anything the Killing Joke or anything that any other story would have done, with a reason of why Bruce won't kill Joker or just let him die, because he believes that everyone should be rooted. And I think that's a great character flaw for a character like Batman. So he's kind of going through it all. He actually, I believe, passes out, and then he wakes up and Leslie's right, you gotta get him out of here. And Bruce is very adamant, hold on, I can't just bring him to a hospital. He won't survive the night. And it's not to say that, he needs round-the-clock treatment, because he does. But no one would let the Joker into their hospital, especially without the opportunity to kill him. Graveyards filled. There is somebody... Joker is the equivalent of Kevin Bacon. You could find a degree of separation between the Joker and someone you've lost. That's what Gotham is like. So he does one thing he knows he has to do, and he brings them to the Batcave. Healing, he hasn't been looked after, and he has him in a healing chamber, and next thing you know, all lights go out. It should go to the absolute shock of nobody. Why? Because Jason knows he's here, So he's gonna kill him. So he gets into a fight with Batman. Batman being shot at by Jason Todd. That is a tale as old as time. Anytime those boys get into a scrap, gunfight is going on. And Jason is always the one with the trigger. However, at some point he loses control of the gun lands into Bruce's hand, and because in the original Hush story, which they do mess with a bit, because in the original Hush story it was Clayface pretending to be Jason to get an emotional reaction. Under the hood, it's revealed no, Jason actually did swap in and swap out at points to really go after Bruce. Since Bruce does not want to get hoodwinked again, he decides the best way to prove that this is Clayface is to shoot Jason square in the dome. I'm going to say this now, right? This, to me, Batman using a gun and also Batman shooting Jason in the head. I don't care that he was wearing a helmet. I don't care that he knew he could hit the shot at a certain angle and it wouldn't kill him. I don't care for that shit. Batman doesn't use guns and Batman doesn't shoot guns. One of the things that was really heightened, especially with the reason why Bruce went into retirement in the Batman animated series, is because one night he's in the Batman Beyond outfit. He's trying to save this woman. His heart is giving out, right? His health is getting to him, and he's so struck with fear. He holds up a gun to one of the criminals. He holds a gun to one of the criminals who's coming after him, just to scare him off. At that point, he knew he could no longer be Batman. So he stopped being Batman. He retired. You're going to tell me this is the same guy who just shot his son in the head? Again, Batman knowing how to use guns isn't the problem. He needs to know how to use the guns. He needs to know everything. That's his whole shtick. But the idea that he is like, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or like, this is the only way I could have done. This is the same motherfucker who has shark repellent spray in his utility belt. And he lives in Gotham, where he's more likely to come across Killer Croc than King Shark. You're telling me this motherfucker doesn't have a tool in his utility belt for detecting or disrupting matter in clay? You're gonna tell me that? This motherfucker has been operating for how many years? Has come across Clayface multiple times pretending to be other people, and you're telling me this motherfucker in his own fucking home wouldn't have a device that allows him to fucking disrupt matter in clay, or be able to do something that would be able to go, oh, actually no, this isn't Jason Todd. This isn't him. It fucking pissed me off, man. It genuinely pissed me off because it's an absolute disruption to the character. It's, again, a story we didn't ask for. It's doing shit that it shouldn't, like re-canonizing Killing Joke. It's bringing in this fucking narrative that is old as fucking dirt, and we're just supposed to be here like, oh no, it's fine. Oh no, it's okay. The only thing I'm going to give this story a little bit of grace on, it gives 3 points that are very strong. 1, Batman's paranoia is one of his biggest flaws. He is constantly worried that Thomas Elliot is fucking with him. That he's fucking with him. That he's doing things that is considered out of character. Not really saving Joker. Saving Joker is canon for Batman. It is quite character driven for Batman. But the way he reacts and the way he fights off Jason is the bit that's driving on the character. And again, Batman's paranoia is his biggest enemy in as a character. His guilt is another one. Because after shooting Jason square in the head and they finally are able to calm down, he, honest to God, says, I was your parent. I should have taken you out of Iran the second we found your mother. We should have done that. I didn't. I got distracted by other things. Or I was the adult in the situation and I'm responsible for you. So Joker may have been the one who blew you up, but I'm as responsible for your death as he is. At least he fucking admits it. And the third point being that Jason wanting to kill this motherfucker is his character arc. Which I also feel is a regression, because I do feel at times that when given the opportunity, he is ready to just go, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Which I just think is stupid because of how often Jason's character is flipped from being, I am like God's vengeance or whatever bullshit. he will kill the Joker. He hates this motherfucker with every fibre of his being. And then given the opportunity, he just backs off. And then next issue or 5 issues or the next run later, he's back to wanting to kill him. I wish they would just make a stand. It was one of the reasons why I was hoping that the Three Jokers was going to be a canon story. For the sole reason that it would have gotten that out of Jason's system. This idea that he has to kill the Joker because he kills one of them. Point blank, in the head, dead. To me, that would be the only reason I would want that canonized, because it meant, okay, you kill the Joker. You're done. This is the only motherfucker you should be killing. If you want to kill pedophiles, you want to kill rapists, that's your own business. But if his whole character trait is to get revenge and to kill the Joker, you did it. Are there other Jokers out there? Yeah. But you killed one, that's the one you get. Alright? That would be the only reason I'd want that story canonized. But here he is again, constantly trying to kill him, so like at least at that point he's still on par. He also has the white hair scarf, which at some point I should do just for a gag. But yeah, I think I hate this story. Like, I could go into the ins and outs of like what Nightwing and Batgirl are doing, as well as like talking about the fucking fact that Riddler is in this story, as well as the fact that Riddler actually knows who Bruce Wayne is. He knows Dick and Barbara. Like that's like, maybe I will have to force myself to reread that story, because like, the fuck? The only thing that is actually making me think genuinely that there's a connection in between Hush 1 and Hush 2 is because in both stories, at some point, Bruce acts out of character, right? In Hush 1, he does try and kill Joker. He fucking kills fucking Thomas Elliot, in his opinion, and it spurs him to a point where he goes to fucking kill Joker, so he loses it and then tries to kill him, to the point where Jim Gordon has to stop him, which Jim Gordon doing that really tells you the make of that man, because to me, Jim Gordon will always be the honest cop. He will always be the pinnacle of what a cop should be, because even though he has as much stake and as much of a reason to want Joker dead as anybody, he still believes in the law, and that's his shtick, right? He does not believe he's above the law. He is the law, and he is holding himself to accountable, because if he can't hold himself to a standard, he can't hold anybody else. That's not the same thing as Batman. Batman is a vigilante who acts outside of the law to keep the law in check. Therefore, he shouldn't kill, even though he's acting outside of the law. So I get from that perspective, but they're not the same. Jim has to hold up the law, because if he falters, every cop underneath him will falter. Batman is a singular entity. He is an outlaw. He does not have the authority to arrest anybody. What he can do is beat the shit out of a guy so badly that cops can just pick him up. Right? He is a delivery service. He is the Uber Eats of crime. Right? You want a criminal brought to you, you call Batman. He'll drop him at your doorstep. But if he kills him, there's no due process. There's no court of public opinion. There's no court of your peers. There's none of that. So I get why Jim Gordon would have stopped Batman in the original Hush from killing Joker. That makes perfect sense. And that makes sense. But here, he hasn't done anything. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there is. I'll be honest. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. That there is a part of this story that just hasn't been told yet. And it's going to all make sense. But God, fuck me, I hate it. I really do. And I know I'm going to hate issue 3. So, prepared for when this whole thing is done, I'm just going to have one massive rant video. But fucking hell. Alright, that's all I'm going to say. It was a pleasure as always to chat to you.